guys, welcome to Ryan's Range Report. Today what we're going to be looking at is the Nightforce ATACR F1 5-25. It's the scope I have here sitting in front of me, and I have it sitting on my 223 trainer. This rifle was built by Aaron Roberts of Roberts Precision Rifles. It has a Hawk barrel, and I actually just used it in the 223 308 Rifles Only Shooters Bash this last weekend, and I used the new F1 ATACR on this rifle. I did well. I placed the best I've ever placed in PRS. So definitely there's a lot of things about the scope I like, and we'll go over some of those features. So the F1 is, the first focal plane version of the ATACR. I think it's really what most people expected it to come out first. We got the Beast first, and then the ATACR second focal plane. Now we have the first focal plane. This scope incorporates a lot of Nightforce's, top-end features that they're known for. The high-speed turrets. We have 12 mils per turn. There's zero stop. It has a dual illumination, red and green. It's their digi aluminum. This is 5-25 by 56, so it's got a 56 millimeter bell, and the power range is 5-25. There's multiple reticle choices. You can use mil, MLR. They have some Horus options that you can use as well. While I do really like the scope and think that they did a good job on it, there's definitely some things I felt like that they can improve on. But I want to really punch on the positive parts first, because it's a great scope with a really nice glass. So let's go over some of the positive features. The first thing I really like about this scope is the adjustments on the turrets, or more so how they're marked, halfway how they're marked. What I really like is that you can see your half mil increments. So you have 4 hash lines, then it says 0.05, then it goes over to 1. And so on 1.5 to 2.5. So where you're spinning that turret, you're seeing quickly where you're at. Now, why I said partially is because this turret is a 12 mil per turn turret, which will get you out, really far on most of your rifles. Should have no problem going further than you'll normally shoot with 12 mils. The only thing that was kind of a disappointment to me was there's not necessarily a second rev indicator, other than the little lines that come up that are pre-marked on the turret, and there's nothing to tell you where you're at when you're on the second rev. And what I mean by that is you've spun around and you're at 12, so when you're at 12 you're back at 0. So now when you go to 13 you're at 1. Now typically if you look at your scope and you see it at 1, you're thinking, well, I'm on the second rev, I'm at 11. And if you're just sitting there slowly panning it out, it's not so much of an issue. But I've already noticed that I've done this myself. I spun it around thinking I was going to 16 mils when really I was at 18 mils. We were shooting 223, trying to reach it out. Shooting this 223, trying to reach it out to 1,500 yards. So it definitely got a little confusing. With the ATACR, one thing I did really like is this capped windage turret. I'm not a windage dialer. I'll dial when I'm getting ready to zero my rifle, but I'm not going to dial my wind, and I'm not going to dial for a mover or something like that. And if you want to leave it off, they do include a beauty ring as well. Another really thing about the scope that I like, of course, is Nightforce is known for having really good glass, and this definitely has that. It's a very nice, very clear glass. The scope I run on my match rifle right now, and who I shoot for, is Collis, and I'm heads over heel with that scope. I'm really impressed with it, and that's really the main scope I have to compare it to, because I take both of these out, my match rifle and my trainer out, and I can set them side by side. This has a better power range, 5-25 versus the 6-24, but if you ever look through a Schmidt and Bender 5-25, you'll notice at 7 power, that's when your field of view stops, and this does similar. Your field of view doesn't get any wider. So when you come back to 7 power with the ATACR, and when you back off from there, really your picture just gets smaller, not wider. I don't really see a benefit to that. I don't know what that does for the shooter, because you're not increasing your field of view, and that's the whole reason, in my opinion, that you'd want to come off of your magnification, is increase your field of view. Other than if you're shooting, let's say, sometimes during matches, a lot of times during matches, we're having to do these little 10-yard dot drills, and if you can come off more, then you can kind of focus yourself with your parallax. It's not a big deal. I mean, but for me it's something that I noticed. So you know, this is 5 to 25, the Collis is 6 to 24, but the Collis at 6 power has a much wider field of view than this does at 5 power. Scope caps, the turrets are really nice, and I mean, they're not mushy at all. They click, you know where you're clicking. And I haven't had a chance to box test it, but I have, you know, spun the turrets up and down and verified my dope out to, you know, 1,200 yards with 223, and the turrets seem to match up just perfect. Running it with the Nightforce ultralight rings. I really like those rings. They're just what they say they are. They're nice and light. The tunneling, minor issue, but just, you know, if you're looking for my honest opinion of it, I really was kind of disappointed that they reverted to having tunneling in their scopes. I mean, Schmidt and Bender's done it for years, and people have been really satisfied with them. But that was always my biggest complaint on the Schmidt and Bender, as amazing a scope as that is that they tunneled. Then, of course, my biggest complaint, and I know that I've heard this from a lot of other shooters, a lot of people that still run the scope, is the reticle. It's really awkward. I can go ahead and pop up a picture of the reticle so you can see what I'm talking about. It's really awkward in the sense that your hash marks are in weird places. Your first open line here is actually 6/10, so you're in the black on 1/2 mil. There's no 0.2 subtensions. You have this little, you know, ranging reticle here on the side that you can use that I don't find very useful. Just overall, just really unimpressed with the reticle. When you first look through it, you're like, oh, hey, that kind of looks nice. But when you start to break it down and compare it to other offerings, even the Burris that I'm running right now on the Ruger precision rifle has, you know, nice little 0.2 subtensions, which really help when you're out there shooting and you're really trying to get your wind in just real small holds. Obviously, you know, it worked fine for me over the last weekend, but to be honest, we weren't dealing with a whole lot of wind. So I really hope that Nightforce is making some sort of change where they have something like the skimmer or the H2CMR reticle. The skimmer being from Collis, the H2CMR from Schmidt and Bender. Like I said, even that new Burris reticle on their XTR is really nice. Just something that'll fit the PRS style shooters a little better. Okay, so enough of the negatives, back to the positives. Positive is it's a very great, repeatable scope with great glass, nice illumination if you're looking for illuminated scope. It comes with great scope caps. The turrets are very very nice, very solid, very tactile. Their zero stop works flawlessly. The turrets they work flawlessly. They're very easy to read. It comes with this switch lever on it, this quick switch view style lever on it, which is really nice. And the glass is, you know, very impressive. It's absolutely a great scope, and if you're looking for a scope in this price range, this is definitely one I'd recommend. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure and subscribe. Doing a lot of work with the Ruger Precision Rifle right now, and I have the Burris XTR2 on it, and really trying to get a nice, thorough review on it. I was hoping to have it out a little sooner, but I really want to, instead of just doing a feature overview of the rifle, really give you guys an idea of what I like on it, and really I'm trying to see how far out I can shoot the thing. Right now we have it out to 1,200 yards, and I've been, you know, very impressed with it so far. So if you can go to your gunsmith and get your name on the list for one, because you're looking for a $1,000 rifle to get into competition, then I really feel like that's your bet. As always, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day.